I finished reading Three Women by March Hastings last night. It's a lesbian pulp novel originally published in 1958. I'm going to admit the writing wasn't all that great. Perhaps, as I've said before, because I read so much Anne Bannon, I compare all 1950s lesbian pulp to her standards. I really did enjoy this one, though. It was definitely better than Women's Barracks. So it's set in the United States. Our main character, Paula, has a boyfriend, and she's even prepared to marry him. Then the combination of having sex with him and meeting his aunt, Byrne, causes Paula to ditch him and show up on Byrne's doorstep to begin an affair with her. She kind of has this fantasy of Byrne, who is quite a bit older than her, I'm not sure how much older, and herself living together and being artists. Byrne is an artist, and the moment Paula comes in contact with her, she decides that she's going to be an artist as well. She has this fantasy, and she tries to create it in real life, which is complicated because she has an ailing alcoholic father, a mother who she feels has been cheated by her married life, by her father. She has a 16-year-old brother who she's worried about. She wants him to take more responsibility, to get a job because the family needs money, and at the same time she's guilty about her fiancé, who she's been dating for, I believe, years, possibly just months. And she's kind of led him on. She's led him to believe that she is in love with him and she wants the life that he wants. But just hours after becoming engaged, hours after having sex with him, she's suddenly worried about being fenced in, being trapped, about what her life will be like if she marries her fiancé and has children and keeps house the way that her mother has. And her running to Byrne is seen partly as an act of love and partly as Paula grasping for freedom, I think. Unfortunately, Byrne has a backstory which complicates things for Paula. Byrne fell in love as a teenage girl with her slightly older 18-year-old friend, Greta. After having a sexual encounter with Greta, their parents separate them, and Greta is hastily married off 2 weeks later, and Byrne is kind of scolded and kept away from Greta for a while, but eventually they find each other again, and Greta is described as an old woman by this point, so it makes you wonder how old Byrne is compared to Paula, who I think is supposed to be in her early 20s. Greta has essentially lost her mind. It's not described exactly what, but she's described as like a child, so perhaps she has some sort of dementia. Whatever the reason, she's relying on Byrne to come and see her, to take care of her, to give her some money. For whatever reason, Byrne is very wealthy and she doesn't need to work. And when Paula moves in with her, Paula doesn't have to work either, and they live this kind of fantasy life for a while until Greta's presence barges in and ruins things. And as many lesbian pulp novels in the 50s did or were forced to do by publishers, the love between Greta and Byrne is seen as a destructive love, as something which is dangerous, something which leads to death. Interestingly, though, the love between Byrne and Paula isn't displayed in quite the same way. It actually works out for them in the end, for the most part, but you have misgivings Paula believes that Byrne will always love Greta. Byrne is reassuring Paula that she loves her. It was an interesting novel, and I really did enjoy it. It's something that I would read again. I'm not sure if Marge Hastings wrote any other novels, but I'm going to do a little bit of exploring and look out for more stuff by her.